So I'm working the last row of rib on the back of the cardigan, and the pattern instructs that we have to increase 1 stitch in the last row. I don't like to leave a single increase at the end of a row because it would then come out. So I like to do it right in the centre. So I've worked the rib to 31 or to 30 stitches. I'm going to increase in the 31st stitch, and it just happens that it's going to be a plain stitch increase. So I rest my work again between my thumb and my forefinger. I insert the needle through the front of the stitch, take the yarn round, bring it through, but I don't slip it off because I need to increase one. I'm going to increase another stitch here. I take the needle over, put it through the back of the stitch, take the yarn round, bring it through. So in that stitch I have increased by 1. You can see it just looks different. But I'll be going through increase and decrease in another video. I'm now just going to go to the end of this row, this last row of rib. So we're looking at the reverse side. When we start on the stocking stitch, it will be easier because you won't be having to bring the yarn back and forth to the front or the back of the work. And in a moment I'll show you what the finished rib looks like. So as I explained to you before, if I was purling on one side, I'm doing plain on that stitch on the other side, and you will see what effect this has. You see, I'm doing it a little bit faster here to show you you can go quite fast when you're not taking your hands off the needle all the time. Okay, so if we look at it, that's the reverse of the rib. When you turn it over, so this is the wrong side, this is the right side, you can see it is quite different because you've got 2 purl stitches in between a single plain stitch. Over this side on the reverse, you've got 2 plain stitches and 1 purl because it's the complete reverse of the other side. And we had to do 10 rows in total, and it's quite easy to count the rows because if you just pull your work apart and have a look, you just you can count the rows like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'll make it easier when you actually do the stocking stitch. Stocking stitch, we're moving on to now, is in the body of the garment. And it's a single row of plain, and then you reverse it by working a row of purl. It's called stocking stitch. So if we now move on to the larger needle, we've got a nice tight rib, and we loosen it up a little bit for the body of the work. So I'm going to start with a knit row. So in we go with the needle, set your tension up, and all the way along, needle through the front, yarn around the needle, bring it through, much easier, isn't it, than having to keep bringing your yarn back and forth. And all the time I'm using my left hand to hold the work and help me, and I'm balancing the needle in between my thumb and my finger, and the yarn's flowing nicely through my tension. There's not really much gripping. It's the way it's set up, just keeps the tension really good for me. And we'll do this all the way along to the end. Again, I'm just using my hand on the opposite hand here on the left to move my work up the needle to make it easier to work the stitches and take them off the needle. In a moment we'll come to our increased stitch. Here it is. So you can just see the back of it. So we work that the same as all the other stitches in that row. You can just see the little gap there, but that won't be noticed when the work is done, when the cardigan is done. So we carry on to the end, and then the next row we'll reverse with purl. We'll reverse the stitch and you'll be able to see what it looks like. Move that down a little bit, give me room to bring more stitches onto the right hand needle. So this is our first row of plain or stocking stitch completed. Take the smaller needle, put it to one side, just have a look at your work. Doesn't look much different at the moment. Turn over and there you go, you've got a row of purl there. You're looking at the purl side. So now what we've got to do, because this is the reversal, we've got to work a row of purl for the stocking stitch. So don't forget to change your needles. Sometimes, you know, even I've made the mistake of forgetting to change the second needle, and I'm working with a larger and a smaller needle. So now we're going to do the purl row. Needle through, set your tension. There we go. So, and again, it's simple because you're going to be working the same way on every stitch. No moving the yarn to the front and the back of the work. So needle through the back of the stitch, yarn around the needle, take it through to the front. Oop, there you go. Keep it smooth, needle through the back of the stitch, yarn around the needle, take the needle back to the front of the work. It's quite a smooth process when you get the hang of it, but don't forget to use your hands to help you balance the needle and make it easy for yourself. You can see now we are getting 2 rows of the purl, and when we turn over you will see 2 rows of the plain. Well, let's do that now. Let's just have a look, turn the work around, and you'll see. So if we carry on working the purl to the end, I'm going to do another few rows and then I'll pick up on the videos again to show you how it's all taking shape.